Welcome back. Welcome back. I know it's been a minute since I last made a video. Today we're going to be talking about the latest version of Radio DJ. I'm over here at RadioDJ.ro, and they do have a new version. It's called version 2.0.4.2, if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm going to do is, let's look and see what's new. So I'm gonna go over here to the forums, go over here to releases, and 2.0.4.2. As you can see, they've made a change to their forum. They say the latest version is available. The release should fix compatibility issues caused by the latest versions of Maria database and MySQL. I do remember that you had to use a lower version of Maria database or MySQL. This fixes that. It says, please install this release in a separate folder. Anytime you're upgrading your Radio DJ, do not overwrite what you already have. Just put it in a brand new folder from the existing one if you're updating from a previous release. The reason is that in this release, the files are changed a bit. So that means there are some changes to the files. Now, the program looks very much the same. It runs pretty much the same. But I think this fixes a lot of bugs that were in 20.2.0.4.1, 2.0.4.0. It said the installer was fixed. If you get an error that the program could not connect to the database, please download it again. He had to put a build 3 on there. So we saw that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually update one of my live radio stations. I'm going to update all 3 of them, but on this video, I'm just going to do one. I'm going to do my flagship radio station. All right. So we're going to download this build 3, 2.0.4.2 build 3. I'm going to download it across the network over to, put it over here in downloads on the other system. All right, so we're going to minimize that. Now I'm logged into the other system, so let me get a folder going so we can go find that real quick. It's in downloads. All right. And I think that's 2039. I think it's a zip file down here, build number 3. So let's extract that. Extract all. All right. So there it is. So now I'm going to install this. Now, my stations are on my C drive in a folder called stations. There's the 3 stations there. And the way I name the folder is I give it the version of Radio DJ, and then I give it the call letters of the station. That's just so I can keep up with it. Okay. So we're going to right click and I'm going to say run as administrator. And yeah, I know it doesn't have a signature on it. This is the reason why it does that. Run anyway. Okay. Oh. All right, I didn't notice this was behind that. Say yes. It says this will install. Yes, I want to install it. Accept the agreement. Hit the next button. Gives you the changes, things that were changed. Hit the next button. Now right here, before I go any further, I'm going to browse to the folder where the other ones are. Okay, they're in a folder called stations, right? And I'm going to hit, am I in the right place? Yeah, I'm hit OK. But right here, I'm going to change the name. So this is Radio DJ 2.0.4.2, and this is for my station WNIA. So hit next, Says doesn't exist. Are you sure? Sure. Sure, I'm sure. I know what I'm doing. I better know what I'm doing. And I'm going to hit start database setup. Okay. Hopefully I remember the passwords. All right. On this system, I'm using a different port number, so I have to say that. So for me, it's the, localhost or 127.0.0.1 colon, and then my port number. I'm going to call this WNIA 2042. That's what I'm naming the database. And hopefully I can get this password right. And let's check it. We did it right. So whenever you're doing multiple installations, as long as the database name is different, you can name the database whatever you want. This will make sure that it does not interfere with another database. So I hit install. Yep. All right. Now, while I'm here, well, I'll do that later. So I'm going to hit OK. And close. Now that made a icon over here. So I'm just going to put this as 2042. And I am going to run it. It may not run. Let's see. Okay, it did. All right, let's expand it so I can see everything. First thing I want to do is I want to get over to options, and I want to uncheck allow only one instance. Also, for me, I like to show at least 500 entries when I'm searching for something. And I also like to move my date around. I want it to be the date, the month, the day of the week, and the year. I think that's how I have it. As far as sound devices, I think somebody's using C. Now I have voice meter potato on here. So for now, I'm just going to use that. I do know that my output is all going, well, it's going to voice meter. Yeah. So I'm going to set all of these to voice meter input 3. Voice meter potato gives you a third virtual input. So you get 3 instead of 2. Potato only gives you 2. And my input, I do use the line in from M Audio. All right, so that's going to require a restart. And I'm doing that so the audio doesn't interfere with any of the other sound cards. So I go down here to voice meter potato. And see, they have 3. And as you can see, the other stations are on 1, 2, and 3. I would turn them on so you can hear them, but I don't want to get no copyright strike. All right. So I'm bringing a new one in on this 3 right here, just so it doesn't interfere with the other ones. Okay. All right. So what do I do after this? Well, I'm going to exit out. The first thing I'm going to do is create a folder. And it's going to be the 2042 plugins. because I need to copy the disabled plugins that I plan to use. I'm going to make a folder over here called plugins. Then I open another folder up and go over here to station so you can see what happened when I installed it. Okay. So now you see you got a 2039 WNIA and a 2042 WNIA. So I'm going to go to the 2042 WNIA, go to the disabled plugins, and go and grab the ones I know that I am going to use. So we're going to copy these. I think the disabled track is empty. The event carts, I do use those. Copy. Go over here, paste. The gamepad I don't use. The MIDI controller. I don't use actually. The notes I use. The request I use. Control C, Control V. I don't use the REST server. I definitely use the say time. Control C, copy that over there. And I do use the teaser. Copy all of those. Copy that. I don't use the TTS. I don't use the web browser because the way I do things, I don't need it. All right, so I'm gonna back out. I'm still in 2042. I'm gonna back out, and basically I can just take all of this, copy it, and go to the main plugins and just paste it in. Control V. All right, so another thing I need to do is I'm going to go to the 2039's folder and I'm going to go to setup because I need to back up what's going on now. All right, so I'm backing up that station. Okay, then I can come over, back over to the 2042, go to setup, database. Now I want to restore. Okay, so I'm going to click restore and I'm going to go to where that backup went to. I think it's over here. Yeah, DB backups. NIA radio. Today is 6/21. So it's the last one down at the bottom, 6/21. That's the one I just did. Open that. And we are importing that one into the 2042 database. So hopefully we won't have any errors. Completed successfully. All right. Hit OK. Now, first of all, let's look at the radio station I'm getting ready to clone. This is the station I'm getting ready to clone. And so I need to copy the template, what is it called? The styles, so I can get the same look. And I need to copy the logo. So when I do this, the new one should look exactly the same, okay? So let's first of all go back over to my stations. Go into the 2039. I'll start with the logo. Let me grab that logo. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab the logo. And I have a folder that I put in here called Logo Backup. Also, I like to put my SC caster inside the folder of the particular station. So I'm going to copy that too. And I'll just copy the styles, all the styles. I'm going to copy the styles folder. Heck, I'll copy the templates folder. Oh, you know what else I need? But I can't do it right now. I need the say time files. So I'm copying the logo, PNG, the templates folder, the styles folder, the SE caster folder, and the logo backup folder that I just used that for backup. So I'm going to copy all of that, back out, and go over to the 2042 folder. Paste that in. It's probably going to ask me, yeah, I want to do that. Then I'm going to go over here and get my say time audio files, which are located in the plugins folder. So I'm going to grab this encoders folder, because the encoders folder has files in it that are needed to record, and the say time folder. So I'm going to copy that too. Come out of this one, go over to the new one, go to the plugins folder, and paste. All right. So now, moment of truth. I'm going to fire up the new one, the new version, and it should look like the old version. Here we go. I don't know if everything, I probably got to go in there and select the, well, the logo's there. I probably got to go in there and select the styles, because that's not stored. All right. So after you've done that, I see everything looks like it loaded up pretty good. Yeah, everything looks like it loaded up pretty good. Of course, it's not playing because there are some things that are not stored with the database, such as the autoplay and things of that nature, the color scheme. So I'm going to go over here to options and options, and I'm going to go to other settings. And when I do this drop down menu, I should see my WNIA template. I got two of them in here. So one of them is the right one. Okay. So the second one was the right one. Now I do see off the gate that disable events button is permanently enabled, it looks like. So I've got to also set the album cover to match where they were originally. I think they're on daily shows. Now I have all my album covers together because I have a program that as soon as I put a song in, they get uploaded to the server. So I'll put that, that's the, where the album covers. Also the recording goes over to somewhere. I think it's, might be over here. There's a lot of little settings that you got to do that don't take place right here, live recordings for that. Also, I don't need the folder sync because I don't use it. It's a great tool, but I just don't use it. Everything else is fine there. Stream titles, so put the name of the station in. See, none of this gets transferred. And so you have to put that in there. Okay. Color scheme should be fine. The auto DJ, of course, I have to turn that on. I don't remember what my rules are. I think they were pretty high. So that didn't transfer. That never transfers over. That is in a settings file, XML settings file. And because the new version, the files are different, you can't really use that. And then general, I think we've done that. Wednesday, June 21st. Yeah, I like for it to look like that. So I think that part of it is done. Then, of course, the next thing is, let's get it going. Is to change my layout. I have grown accustomed to liking my history tab to be over here and my auxiliary players to be over there. So let me do that real quick. So I'm going to go to options, plugins, my auxiliary players. I want them not in zone 4, but in zone 3. That moves them over to the left. My history, I need for it to be in zone 2. See, and I'm sure there's some other little things like I got information over here that I don't need in my search. So let me go to options, plugins. I think that's under search. I don't need intro. I do need duration. I need the count. Count played. And I think that's all I have over there. Yeah. So while I'm in here, I'm going to go to Tracks Manager and select the things I like to use or have in Tracks Manager. I don't need the year, song ID. Sometimes I like the path. I don't need to know if it's enabled. I don't need the priority. I do like the count played. I don't need the mood. So a lot of stuff I don't need to see when I'm working in the track manager. So I might as well set it here. All right, so I got my search, my history. Move this down here. My instant players. Okay. My manual. Let's see if my request. Yeah, right there. Request events. Nope, not that. Well, let's do a refresh. Nope. Ooh, it looks like I lost some stuff. Let's see. I'm supposed to have some stuff there. Let's see. Instant players. That's cool. Notes is cool. And online request. Select my request IDs. Turn that on. Make them automatic. And make sure they go to the bottom of the queue. All right, so if I grab this song and right click and say add to the request queue, should go over there, sit in there for a few seconds and pop right out. Or do I have auto add in there? No, I don't have auto add. Gotta have the auto add turned on. Then when it pops over there, it should be red, I believe. There it is, right there. All right. So when a request comes through, which I don't have that set up anymore, I'm thinking about doing something crazy to make that work. They'll show up over here and then they'll sit over there for a few seconds and they'll pop to the bottom of the queue. All right. So far it looks like everything is pretty much falling in line. I know there are some other things I'm sure I got to go in here and work on. I'm going to have to look at the audio processing, yeah, and get the settings off the old one to make sure my settings is correct. And that is how you transfer your station from one version to the other version. I still have. So right now there are 4 radio DJs running. It's only 3 SC casters, but there are 4 radio DJs. So this is the original. See, they almost look identical. And like I say, I got to do the meta export too. Yeah. So there's some things I got to do. They almost playing the same song. Almost. They 2 different databases. I think they playing that because that one is designed to run at a certain time. Okay. So that's how you do didn't take long. Didn't take long at all. And of course I've got to do the other 2 stations, but before I do those, I'm gonna go through and make sure everything is done. A lot of stuff you have to manually do. Like I have to go in here and manually change all of this and get everything up. The web, tune in, and Twitter. I got to get all that set up because that does not transfer over. But other than that, and the audio settings, everything is good. Track manager, got the information I wanted because I went in there and changed it. So that's in good shape. It's good to go. And so before midnight, this station will be running the latest version 2.0.4.2. I hope that you've had a easy transfer. Now, don't do this from what is it? I wouldn't go from too far back. This is why I try to keep up with the changes, because if you're too far back, it's difficult. It's hard to get caught up. So let me go back to stations. It was something I wanted to look at, and I done forgot already. Hot diggity dog. It was something I wanted to look. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. If you go into the setup folder, this is version 2.0.4.2. I'm going to go to setup, database. If you go to database utilities, you can see an update file and you can see how far back you can be. So according to this, you can go all the way back to 2006. So if you're running 2.0.6, what you would do is install this in a new folder, back up your old database, import that backup into this. Or what I would do first is before I do that, I would go from 2.0.6 to 2.3.8. And then import the backup. And if you're on 2.3.7, you can do 2.3.7 to 2.3.8 and then import your backup. That's what I wanted to see. And of course, you got optimizations and repairs. So I hope this has helped in terms of upgrading or changing out versions, upgrading to the latest version. Looks like it's pretty stable. I didn't have a lot of issues, so I hope this works for you. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you guys later.